What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be showing you my criteria and what I personally look for in a product to sell on Amazon. And for those of you that are new here, my name's Nick, and over the past year, my team and I have sold hundreds of different products on Amazon and done over 7 figures in sales. And this video is going to be super helpful. It's going to be a bit more unscripted. I'm just going to kind of go through some products on RevScout, and then I'm going to pick a few out, open them on Amazon, and then just review them for you and show you why I would or would not buy them. So I'm using RevScout right now. It's a great tool to find the most relevant products that are selling now. So I've gone and I've opened a few of them here on my browser, and I'm going to go through them one by one and show you why I would not buy these products. So first product here looks like it's some kind of food saver. And for those of you that are new, on the right here, this is SellerAmp, which is basically just a profit calculator, and it gives me some data on the listing itself. And then if you scroll down here, this is a tool called Keepa, which shows the price history of a product. So some baseline things you should know. This pink and orangish line here and these triangles show the price that it's selling for over time on Amazon. So prices on Amazon aren't a constant price, right? They fluctuate over time as different sellers come onto the listing and list them for different prices. So as you can see here, this one started up at around $56 and then is selling for about $24, $25 now. And there's a reason for that, right? So this bottom line here is the amount of sellers that are currently selling on this listing. So you can see previously around early September, there was only one person selling this product on Amazon. And then come to the current date here, and there's about 22 sellers selling this listing. So this is the first point that I have, and it's just supply and demand, right? You can see obviously here that as the amount of sellers increases, the price is going to decrease. It's just supply and demand. So it starts from one seller. He has no competition, so he can sell it for $56, $57. But then over time, as more sellers come to the listing, they start undercutting each other. And then gradually the price falls over time. So this listing pretty much got cut in half from $57 down to $24, $25. So if you see anything like this, if you're going to sell on a listing and you see a gradual increase in the number of sellers on the listing like this, this is pretty dramatic. So if you see anything like this, I would stay away. Even if the price hasn't started to drop yet, I just want to make sure that in the future, I'm not going to be competing with an increasing number of sellers over time. So say we just go back here. I'm going to zoom out a bit and say we come down to this time frame here. So we're looking at it right as the amount of sellers starts to increase. I would not buy in on this listing if I was viewing this on October 10th. It's mid-November now, but I went a bit back in time here. So this is just to show you that, there's a direct correlation between the amount of buyers, or the amount of sellers, and then the price on the listing. So that's the first thing I look at. And if that doesn't check out, I just go to the next listing. A few other things, just baseline checks. You want to make sure that a listing is selling minimum 100 times per month. So you can see here, this one has no issue with that. It's selling close to 4,500 times per month, but it doesn't pass the Keepa test. So we're going to go to the next listing. And also, just another rule of thumb, I wouldn't sell anything that's selling on Amazon for less than $15. That's just because it's really hard to be profitable. In some cases you can be, but it's more rare. And that's just because often cases Amazon charges a flat fee for their FBA fee. There's a couple different fees that Amazon charges. They have a referral fee, which is on a percentage basis. And then there's a FBA fee, which basically pays for the fulfillment of the product. So it pays for Amazon to store it and then ship it out and handle it for you. So that FBA fee could be anywhere from $5 to $10. So if you're selling a product that's selling for less than $15 on Amazon, that FBA fee is going to cut out a lot of your profit. So I prefer to sell things that are a bit higher priced, like this, for example. $40 is great. I try to aim for anything like 30, 40, 50 and above, but obviously some things are cheaper, some things are more than that. Just kind of depends what you're looking at, but definitely some things to think about. So go to the next listing here that I have pulled up, and we'll do our quick checks here. It's selling for more than $15. That's great. Good sales per month, 375. That's pretty solid. So we got on here and you see the sellers looks good. This is relatively flat, which is good. You want a pink line that's flat here, just indicating that the price over time is constant and it's not all over the place. A little fluctuation is fine, like in here, but you want it mostly flat. But there's one thing wrong with this listing, and that's all of this orange here, which basically indicates that Amazon is also selling on this listing. So most of you may know, but most of you might not. The product that I showed you before is being sold by only third-party sellers, and that's going to be the case with a lot of products that we're selling. But in some cases, Amazon themselves will hop on a listing if they think it's going to perform well and sell the product themselves. So in this case, you can see they were selling it, and we'll zoom out a bit more. yeah, they've been selling this thing pretty much like 90% of the time for the past year. So anything I see like this, I would typically stay away from, especially if you're a beginner. In some cases, you can get away with it, but um, here you see Amazon is pretty much dominating this listing. And if you want to go a bit further into it, you can go to data here and then look at buy box statistics. And this is basically just going to show you, what percentage of the sales on Amazon each seller is getting. So in this case, it looks like Amazon's responsible for only 46, which honestly isn't bad. Some cases it's 60, 70, 80, 90% of the sales that Amazon's getting. So for those, I would definitely stay away. But in this case, Amazon's taking 20 or 46% of the sales, and then this other company is taking 54. So if you're coming on this listing and trying to compete with these two, you're going to be left fighting over like a fraction of the sales on this listing. So another thing to stay away from, especially if you see this big orange Amazon thing on the Keep It chart, I would definitely stay away from that. And we're going to look at one more listing here, and that is some kind of supplement, it looks like. So one more thing I want to mention before we get into this one. When you look at this chart, you want to make sure that obviously you don't want too much competition, right? But you don't want too little competition either. So you want to make sure you have at least 2 to 3 sellers. I say anywhere from 2 to 3 up to 20, 30 sellers, depending on the volume of the listing. That's another thing you want to think about, which I'll get into in a minute. But if it's selling, only one, like back here, I'll take it back for example. So if we zoom in on this time frame back here, this was November 20th of last year. It's about, I think it's the 17th or the 18th of November in 2024, but this is back in 2023. It's only being sold by 1 or 2 sellers. And this typically indicates that it's the brand itself selling the product on Amazon. So this company, Colon Max or Advanced Naturals, whatever the company is, it looks like they were selling this product or some kind of distributor affiliated with them was selling this product exclusively. So if you see a very flat seller line like this over time and it's just 1 or 2 sellers, it typically means they have some kind of exclusive agreement where only they can sell on that listing. So I'd make sure that there's some other FBA sellers on the listing and it's not just 1 or 2 storefronts on Amazon taking all the sales for this listing, because that typically indicates that it's a private label product, which just means that the brand is selling it themselves and they're not allowing other sellers to sell it. But in this case, we look at it now, plenty of sellers on it, so that's a good sign. The next thing that checks out is, this is a flat line here, which is good, indicating that the price over time is very constant. Obviously, there's some little fluctuations in here, but really you just want a constant line. Excuse me. So this is what you want, and this is good. And then the sellers, obviously going to be some fluctuations as well, but it's not really impacting the price that much. So we'll come down here, and what I would do from here is now we're actually going to have to go in and buy this product, right? So you might be wondering, how many of these should I buy? Like, how many can I afford to invest into? So we'll look at some metrics over here on the right. So this is going to show us that this product is selling about 1,000 times per month, which is great, right? And you can see that there's 10 sellers, 10 FBA sellers on this listing. So that means we'll just do a simple calculation. This is how you find out how many you should invest into if you're going to sell this product on Amazon. So it's selling 1,000 times per month. It's basic math. 1,000 divided by 10, right? It's because there's 10 sellers and 1,000 sales per month. So you're going to be able to get about 100 sales per month per seller on this listing. So if you're going to sell this, or if I were going to buy this product to sell on Amazon, I would buy about 100 units, more or less, to sell, because I know, even if I'm competing with these other 10 sellers on the listing, I'm roughly going to be able to sell 100 of these per month. So I'd buy about 100. I buy about a month's worth of inventory at a time, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, depending how familiar I am with the brand or the listing. But I'll get into that in more detail in a future video. So that's a quick calculation you need to know. It's just total monthly sales over total sellers. So we can get about 100 sales per month. Okay, so now we know this is a good listing. So what we're going to do now is look at this max cost right here. And this is showing us how much we can spend on this product on each individual unit to get at least a 25% ROI on this product. So typically we want to shoot for a 25% ROI plus. I'd really recommend 30 to 40 to 50% plus, but bare minimum 25%. So this is basically telling me that if I bought this product from another supplier for $47.27, that I would make a 25% ROI on this product. So, if I just enter that in right here, you see cost price, sale price, ROI right there. And that's $11 profit per unit. Say I'm getting this for $35 from another supplier. Now you can see my profit's $24, almost a 70% ROI, but you get the point. So this video is really just to show you kind of how to analyze the products. In the next video, I'll show you actually where to buy them from, whether it's a supplier, manufacturer, distributor, you're opening a wholesale account, or you're just getting it from another retailer online. I'll go into that in the next video, but for now, I just wanted to show you kind of how to analyze the products, what to look for, and what my criteria are. So if you found this valuable, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.